Okay, so if you've got your tennis ball, we're going to start in a standing position. We're going to work through the feet to start, but place your ball on the ground and we're just going to kind of tune in for a second and notice how the feet feel before we roll through them. So with both feet nice and evenly on the ground, think about pulling your big toe back towards your heels, get a little lift in your arch, and then let your arch relax a little bit. Pull your big toe back towards your heel so you get the lift in your arch, and then release, and then do that one more time. Pull your big toe in, and then soften. Nice. And then keep a sort of neutral position of the feet. Bend your knees, reach your arms up and overhead. And then with a little hinge from your waist, fold down toward your toes. And just give a second here to tune in and notice from your feet to your heels, to your ankles, the backs of your calves, the backs of your knees. Notice the backs of your thighs. Notice your glutes. Notice your spine, the backs of your shoulders, and the back of your neck. Great, and then keep a generous bend in your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. And then with one foot on the ball, we're just gonna keep the heel on the ground, the ball of your foot on the ball, and then trap that ball underneath and give a little swish side to side, putting as much pressure on the ball as feels comfortable to you. Cool, and then we're gonna move it on up and in. So we're gonna find the instep of the foot or the middle part of your foot, trapping it underneath, heel on the floor, and then find that swish of your foot side to side with as much pressure on as feels right to you. Awesome, and then we're gonna move it on up again. So now the ball and the toes of the feet are on the ground and the ball is gonna be trapped under your heel. Trap it and then swish your heel side to side. So you're gonna get a smaller range of motion here. Cool, and then we're gonna lift up and just find a soft roll through the length of the foot. So think working from the toes to the heel, and then you're just gonna work side to side. So you might go big toe line, second toe, third toe, and you're just gonna work through your foot in a softer position. So most of your weight is on your standing leg to start. Cool, then once you feel like the foot has got a little bit warmer and a little bit softer, then you're gonna add your body weight as well. So as you roll through the bottom of the foot, you're gonna let your body weight move with you. Great, and now we're gonna bring that ball right in the center of our ball toe mound. So we're gonna place it right at the center of the toe mound and then lean in, put as much pressure on as feels comfortable to you. You're gonna see if you can let the top of your foot soften a little bit. Take a nice big breath. Awesome, and then when you're ready, lift off, find the center of your foot or that middle instep of your foot, lean in, put as much pressure on as you can, soften the top of your foot and take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, lift off, switching. So now the heel is gonna find the ball, the toes are on the ground. You're gonna put as much pressure on as you can, lean in. And here you might really like to put a little body weight into it, especially since the heel has that really nice, thick texture of that fascia there. So you can lean in and put a good amount of pressure on if it feels comfortable. Awesome, and then when you're ready, lift off, give a nice good soft roll just to kind of smooth out the bottom of your foot. Cool, and then when you're ready, we're gonna take it to the other foot. So with the heel on the ground, ball of the foot on the ball, rocking your foot side to side. Super, and then when you're ready, move it on up to the middle of your foot, trap it underneath, and then swish your foot side to side. Nice, and then when you're ready, ball of the foot on the ground, trap that ball under your heel, and then once you've got it trapped, swish your heel a little side to side. Bonus points when you have to chase your ball down. Get your cardio in. Okay, when you're ready, soft roll from the length of the foot. So from the toes to the heel. And just make sure most of your body weight to start is in your standing leg. I think the tennis balls are slippier than some of the other balls that I use that I have in my personal arsenal. So the tennis balls have that little bit of felt, so they can get a little slippy, especially on carpet. So just if you're ever at a toy store and you see those rubber bouncy balls, there's like pink fun balls. Those are amazing. They have such good grip. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to add that body weight. So you're just going to kind of press through the foot and let your body weight go with you. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bring it to the ball toe mound of the foot, heel on the ground, put as much pressure on as you can. Let the top of your foot soften and take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then lift off, move it on up to the middle of the foot, heel on the ground, lean in, put as much pressure on as you can. Let the top of your foot soften and find your breath there. Beautiful. And then lift off, toes on the ground, heel on the ball. Put as much pressure on as you can and really lean into it. There's that nice thick texture in the heel, so it can handle a lot of impact. Great. And then when you're ready, lift off and give that nice soft roll just to kind of smooth out the bottom of the foot. Awesome. And then just for one last little funsy exercise, just to kind of find that nice bit of work through the inner thighs. You're going to take that ball, trap it between your heels, get it nice and tight and hugged in. And then so there's a little outward or external rotation of the feet. It's like you got a little pizza slice here. You're going to keep those heels really tight together and then just find a little lift. So you're going to lift your heels away from the floor, feel that nice zipping up of the inner thighs, and then lower down with control. Keep that ball hugged in. Lift your heels up and then lower with control. Nice. One more time, just like that. Lift your heels up. Beautiful. And then lower with control. Nice. Whew. And then shake your legs out. And now we're going to come down into an all fours position or onto our hands and knees. But we're going to keep our weight slightly back into our butt. So just let your feet be soft and released. Sit your butt back just a little bit. Place your ball on the ground and then place your right hand on the ball. And then as much pressure as you like. So if you want less pressure, your butt's going to be further back towards your heels. And then if you want a little bit more weight on the ball, you're going to bring your weight forward so that you can put a little bit more of your body weight into it. Nice big circles, and then maybe moving the length of the hand. Awesome. And then from here, do sit your hips back towards your heels a little bit because we're going to flip over and the palm is going to be facing upward towards the ceiling. So now the back of the hand is going to be on the ball and you're going to take your other hand and put it on top. And now with that gentle bit of pressure from the top hand, you're going to roll the hand. So you're going to think about finding those lines of your bones and just see if you can work the grooves in between the bones. Beautiful. And now we're going to take it a little bit further. So with that palm facing up, now you're going to work up the forearm. And so you can move that top hand with you to put as much pressure on as you like, or to leave as much pressure off as you like. So that top hand can really help control how much pressure you put on. Beautiful. One more little roll of that forearm, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So left hand onto the ball, palm facing down, give some good circles or some straight lines, rolling up and down, moving all around the palm. Cool. And then when you're ready, flip over, palm facing up, right hand on top, and then you control the amount of pressure that you use. Great. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it up into the forearm. So again, you can move that top hand with you to put as much pressure on or lighten it up if it feels like it's too much. Awesome. One more roll in and out. And then we're going to take that ball and we're going to come down onto our belly, but we're going to take the ball with. So take your time, come on down, and then we're going to place that ball underneath the thigh. So you're going to find that nice middle part of your thigh, place the ball there, and then just lay on that thigh for a second. Give a second to just tune in and see how that feels. Because that already might be a lot. Like it can be the muscles might just need a second to just chill out for a second. If you've got that sense of chilling out, if you can let the muscles soften around the ball, soften your back, soften your jaw. And then if all is feeling good, see how it feels to just bend and straighten that leg. If that becomes too much at any point, you're just going to let your leg rest nice and heavy, soften the muscle tissue. But if it feels comfortable to do so, just a couple of bends and straightens. Beautiful. And then the next time that leg bends, if it feels good, keep it bent. And we're just going to take a little point and flex of the foot. Nice. And then soften your foot back down to the ground. And we're going to curl both toes under. And now we're just going to take a couple of rolls of the thigh. So you're going to lift yourself away from the floor, use your elbows and forearms to help support, and then roll up and down, finding that nice massaging the whole length of the thigh. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, relax your knees down, move off to one side, get that ball out of the way, and then we're going to take it right over to the other side. So you're going to put it right in the middle of that left thigh. Give a second, get comfortable, let the muscle tissue soften, soften your jaw, soften your back, soften your shoulders. Great. And then from there, if it feels good, you're going to start to find that bend and straighten of the leg. Notice one side might feel totally different than the other. So you might find lots of good work bending and straightening on one leg, but then you get to the other side and it's like no go. So you just choose the version that feels best on the side that you're working. Nice. And then if it feels good, keep the knee bent and then just flex and point the foot there. Notice if you've picked up any tension in your low back there. So see if you can soften your low back, soften your shoulders. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, soften your foot back down to the ground. We're going to curl both toes under, get a little lift. So we're going to firm up the belly and then we're rocking forward and back. Elbows and forearms are going to help pull you forward and back. And you're just working the length of the thigh just as much as feels good. Beautiful. One more rock forward and back. And then push your way up into a tabletop position. We're going to take the ball with, and now we're going to tuck it right behind the back of the thigh where the thigh meets the calf. So we're going to get it tucked into that position. And then you're going to start to draw your butt back to your heels. You're only going to go as far as you can stand and then pause for a second once you hit a point where you're like, whoo, and just take a couple of nice big breaths. Cool. When you're ready, lift up and we're going to move that ball a little bit further back. So now you might be finding the middle of your calf and then moving up the thigh. So you might have to hold the ball in place with your hand and then sit your butt back. So you find that little groove of the hamstring and then push your butt back towards your heels just as much as you can stand. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift up, grab that ball, and now we're going to take it over to the other side. So first you're going to tuck it fairly close to the knee joint, but we're staying on the calf muscle and the back of the thigh muscle, and then push your butt back towards your heels just as far as you can take. And you might get that hurt so good sensation. So see if you can soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up, and then we're going to move it on down. So you're going to find the middle of your calf and then see if you can find that nice groove of the hamstring muscle. You might hold it in place with your hands so you find it and then settle your butt back towards your heels and then soften back into your breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, lift up, move that ball up and out of the way. We're going to spin those legs around so we can sit back onto our butt. And then we're going to just kind of smooth out that calf muscle. So take the ball underneath the right calf, let it find that nice groovy part of that meaty part of that muscle. And then just your left leg is going to be in whatever position works the best for you. But we're going to start to find the internal rotation, internal, external rotation of the foot. So we're going to glide that ball across the back of the calf as you turn the toes in and then turn the toes out. Beautiful. And then we're going to move it on down just a little bit. So maybe coming to that second third of your calf muscle, and then find that internal external rotation with the toe again. Nice. And then we're going to move it on down one more time. So now it's going to get a little closer to the ankle joint. So you're not going to get as big of a range of motion, but let the muscle tissue soften around the ball and then glide the toes around. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to lift off and do it all to the other side. So you're going to place that ball in the medius part of your calf. Right leg can be wherever feels the most comfortable so that you can control the left. Once you've got it in a good position, just start to find that glide of the ball. Toes turn in and toes turn out, and that ball just drags across the back of your calf. Beautiful. When you're ready, move it on down just a little bit. Find that nice little groove, let it settle in. And then once you feel like you've got the muscle tissue softened around it, then away we go. Toes in and toes out. Awesome. And then when you're ready, one last time, move it on down. So we're getting a little closer to the ankle joint. Find that muscle tissue, let the muscle tissue soften. And then once you feel like you're there, then you turn the toes in and out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up, pick up that ball, and now we're going to place it right underneath the right glute. So find a nice, good, soft place for that ball to land. Extend your right leg out nice and long. And we're going to start by just letting the butt get nice and heavy on the ball. See if you can allow the gluteus muscles to soften a little bit. Take a couple of nice big breaths. And then with that leg extended long, you're just going to rotate the toes in and rotate the toes out. So there's not a gliding motion here. We're just going to externally rotate and internally rotate. So you might feel a little bit of muscle movement right at the site where the ball is. See if you can keep that tissue as soft as possible. Awesome. One more little turn in and out of the toes, and then we're going to slide that leg in. So bent knee position might feel a little intense for a second, and then we're going to drop the knee out and then pull the knee in. Wonderful. And then when you feel like it, knee bent or out to the side. That'll be totally up to you, whichever one you can control more. But now we're going to just start to take the bum in circles around that ball. If you find any hot spots, any places that really zing you, stay off of those places. You'll work a little adjacent to them, maybe making some circles around the area, and then move on to a new place. So we don't want to hit any hot spots and stay on them because that might just aggravate the tissue. So we want to kind of work alongside of that area. Nice. Take one more big circle around in whatever direction you like, and then set your butt down, move that butt out from underneath you, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to place it under the left glute, find that nice soft tissue, let it settle in, and then extend your left leg nice and long. And then once you feel like the tissue is soft, or you can just kind of control with your breath, then you're just going to turn the toes in and out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide that left leg in, knee bent position. And now we're going to drop the knee in and out. Cool. And now we're going to take it into some circles. So if you want to keep the knee bent and lifted, keep it up. Or if you want to keep it out, you do the version that you like best. But now we're just going to start to pick the bum up and circle it around that ball, going in any direction that you like. You can go side to side. You can make circles. But we just want to find any tense spots, moving off of them so we're not aggravating the tissue, and just massaging through the glutes. Beautiful. One more good roll around on that glute. And then when you're ready, set your butt down, move that ball out from underneath you. And now we're going to come back to the right side. We're going to place the ball on the side of the hip and the side of the glute. And then we're just going to kind of lean over to one side. So you might have to hike your butt up and then place that ball into that soft side muscle tissue. So we want to find the gluteus medius, that's those glutes on the side of your bum, and then find that soft tissue. And then all you got to do is let the muscle tissue relax and take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, lift up and away from that ball, move it out from underneath you, right over to the other side. So you're going to roll over onto your left side, hike your hips up, place that ball in the side of your glutes, let the muscle tissue relax around the ball, let your body weight on, soften into your breath. Awesome. When you're ready, lift your hips up away from that ball, grab the ball from underneath you. And now we're going to come down onto our back. So we're going to place the ball in between the shoulder blades. So stay to the right of the spine, in between that shoulder blade groove, placing the ball there, lowering down onto your back. And then give a second here. So you're going to be in a slightly uneven position with that right shoulder slightly lifted off the ground. So let your right shoulder get heavy towards the earth. And then once you feel like you found that nice groove in between the spine and the shoulder blades, that nice muscle tissue there, then you want to start to just find some snow angel arms. So you're going to lift your arm up and then back down to your hip. Palm facing up or palm facing down, whichever rotation of the shoulder feels best to you. Beautiful. One more lift and lower of that arm. And then with your arm down at your side, you're going to either push into your feet, lift your butt up and glide up the ball, or you're just going to lift off and manually move the ball. So we're going to start to move upward towards the head, but moving up the shoulder. So we're going to come about 2 or 3 inches up, still staying in that groove of the shoulder blade. Once you found your way there, give a second, let your shoulder soften. And then once you feel like you've found that soft groove, then we're going to lift and lower the arm back to those snow angel arm. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to either push into the feet, lift the hips and glide up the ball, or you're going to move the ball up manually. But now we're going to find that most top part of the shoulder. So we get that meatier chunk of the shoulder and that muscly part up at the top. And then once you've found a good place where you're in that deep tissue, then you're just going to come back to the snow angel arm, lifting up and lowering down. Beautiful. One more lift and lower of that arm. And then we're just going to reach underneath, grab that ball from underneath the shoulder. And now we're going to move it over to the other side. So you're going to lift up, place that ball underneath the left shoulder. So in between the shoulder blade and the spine, find that nice little muscle texture. Release your hips down to the ground. Give a second, let the muscles relax on the ball. And then once you feel like you're there, snow angel arm, lifting that left arm up and lowering it down. Beautiful. One more lift and lower of that arm. And then we're going to glide up the ball or move the ball manually, totally up to you. But we're going to move it up about 2 or 3 inches. Relax your hips back down to the ground. Relax your shoulders. Give a second. Let the muscle tissue soften. And then once you feel like you found a little softness, back to snow angel arm. Nice. And then when you're ready, hand down at your side, you're either going to move that ball up manually or glide yourself up. But now we're going to find that meatier top portion of the shoulder muscle. So into that nice meaty part of the muscle, soften down. And then once you feel like you found the softness, back to snow angel arm, lifting up and lowering down. Awesome. One more lift and lower of that arm. And then when you're ready, we're going to remove that ball out from underneath the shoulder blades and find our way up into a seated position. So Sukhasana with legs crossed or any other seated position that you can sit up tall with. And we're going to work down the jawline of the face. So if you're wearing glasses, it might feel good to just take them off, set them somewhere safe. And then we're going to cup the ball in our hand, placing the ball right around the jawline, lean in just a little bit and just start to glide that ball up and down. So working down from the chin up to the jawbone where that jaw connection point is right around the ear. And you put as much pressure on as feels right to you. So if it feels like it's intense, lighten up just a little bit, keep it soft. But if it feels nice to really dig in, you can lean in just as much as you like. Awesome. Take one more glide up and down, and then just come right up to that connection point, right about where the ear meets, where the jawbone connects, and then put a little bit of pressure on, and then just draw some nice gentle circles in one direction. And then draw some circles the other way. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, switching hands, placing that ball into the cup of your hand from the chin up to the ear. And I won't go as far here just because of my microphone. And again, here, you're going to put as much pressure on as feels right to you. So you might choose to be really super light if you've got a lot of tension in the jaw, or you might decide to really groove in. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, take it up to that connection point right at the ear and the jaw, and then put a little pressure on, draw some circles in one direction. And then draw the circles the other way. Beautiful. And now we're going to take the ball right to that third eye center. So that little space right between the eyebrows, and one hand or two hands, that'll be totally up to you, but you're just going to put a little bit of a pressure on and then draw some tiny circles in one direction. And then draw those circles the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, releasing that ball away from your face, just come into a nice gentle seated position. Close your eyes down for a second, just tune in and notice. Notice the muscles in your face, the muscles in your jaw. And if you're holding any tension around the muscles in your eyebrows, see if you can let them soften. Great. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. If you took your glasses off, put them back on. We're going to come up to a standing position, and just to tune in and check back in, we're going to take a little forward fold position. So come up to a standing position, feet in a nice even stance. Take a nice big breath, raise your arms up, maybe even notice how your shoulders feel here. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, fold forward a little bit, let your hands hang nice and heavy. And now notice your feet. Notice your backs of your calves, the backs of your knees, backs of your thighs, your low back, middle back, upper back. Awesome. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Take your time, maybe shrug out your shoulders just to kind of loosen up anything may have come across there. And then be sure to drink plenty of water today.